Hi everyone! Today I'm going to cook for dinner a dish that is called Spanish omelette, which means tortilla de patata, and basically is omelette with potatoes, so it's very simple. So for that I'm going to use a few ingredients. So you can see here the ingredients I'm going to use. I'm going to use 2 whole potatoes, regular size. Then I'm going to use 6 large brown eggs. That can be approximately because it depends on how much potato you have on the pan after you cook the potatoes. So normally it's a good amount, 6 large brown eggs for 2 regular potatoes, but maybe if I notice there is too much potato, I might add another egg. So this for now is 6 eggs. And then I will use olive oil, around 3 ounces, but then I will pour depending on also the amount I see on the pan. So this is for the purpose of this video, I'm choosing 3 ounces, but once I'm going to pour on the pan, if I see it's too much, maybe I will pour a little bit less of oil. So I'm choosing olive oil because it's quite traditional to use this kind of oil in Spain, but normally since some months ago I'm using a lot avocado oil because it's like this, because it's high heat cooking oil, so it's what I like for cooking at high temperatures, like what I'm going to cook now. But I'm still, for the omelettes and the Spanish omelette, I'm still using the olive oil because it's probably well, it's not so suitable for high heat cooking, but still is just olive oil, is not extra olive oil, which be much worse to say. So as I said, it's okay, since it's very common to do the Spanish omelette with olive oil. I'm just sticking with that, but yes, if you want to put a little bit of more to do it a little bit more healthy, you can just choose avocado oil, for instance. And yes, and then salt. Salt is something I add to the potato once in the pan, and also once the eggs are beaten. But I try to avoid not to add too much, because then it's not possible to remove, right? So it happened in previous time that I add too much salt, and then it's not so good, the omelette. So that's why I add a little bit, and then everyone can add salt at the end to the omelette as they wish. So these are the basic ingredients that you will need for this recipe. So first of all, what I'm going to do is to peel both potatoes. Once the potatoes are peeled, like this, I'm going to cut the potatoes. Well, I wash the potatoes and I dry well the potatoes, and I'm going to cut in little pieces the 2 potatoes. And this is up to you, the way you cut the potatoes as soon as you cut the potatoes, right? So I mean, it doesn't matter if you do a little pieces or a little bit bigger. So this is the way I do, but feel free to do it as you like, or you feel more comfortable. The way I do is just size like this, and not following any pattern, just downsizing the potato. And yes, some pieces are bigger, other are smaller, but yes, the potato is being cut. And also not very thick, so because it will be easier for the cooking. So if it's but also not very very thin. So something like, as once you do like this movement, I think it's the way it turns regarding size and thickness. So it should be fine the way you do the cutting process. I'm putting in this container because after that I will heat the potatoes in the microwave. The reason I heat the potatoes in the microwave is because if I put the potatoes in the pan with the olive oil to fry, because you need the potatoes cook and so a little bit fry, it's going to take too much time, and also it's going to be less healthy because it needs more time with the olive oil to cook well the potatoes, right? So if I put the potatoes on the microwave, it's going to cook quite faster. I put for these potatoes around 8 minutes, 8.5 minutes. So it's already almost cooked. And then I add to the pan, and I finish to cook them a little bit, but not too much time. So then it's like a healthy option for do this dish. In many, I guess in many houses or in many restaurants in Spain, they do like more the traditional way, like they fry the potatoes in the pan. It might be the flavor like a little bit stronger, but I like this option because it's healthier. And well, the 2 potatoes are cut, so I'm going to put in the microwave to heat as I explained it before. By the way, I like to use always the same container because it's like my reference of the amount of potato. Even I choose 2 potatoes, it's not always the same size. I could wait, but since I don't weigh the potatoes, it's just like my reference. So it is helpful for the time on the microwave and also for the amount of eggs I will use. So that's why I like to use always the same container. So I indicate 8 minutes cooking on the microwave. So while heating the potatoes, I'm going to beat the 6 eggs for now. So then I can go to the pan to continue cooking the omelette as soon as the potatoes are finished, and I can save time. So you don't really need this big container, but the other one is washing, so that's why I'm using this container. And now it's time to beat the eggs. I like to do quite thoroughly, but some people just beat a little bit and it's okay for the omelette, but I like to spend some time until everything is very well mixed. Okay, so I will do a little bit more and I will finish it. The potatoes are ready, so I'm going to take out the dish carefully because it's quite hot. So then the size is much smaller now that they are heated. And now I can add the olive oil to the pan and start heating the pan at about medium heat. So as I said before, I add here like 3 ounces. Let's see how it fills the pan. So I pour almost everything. I like that the pan is completely filled, not a little bit, because it's important for the fries to fry a little bit, not too much because they are really heated, but a little bit. And yes, and if at the end I see it's too much oil with the fries, I just can remove with a tissue a little bit of oil so it's not so oily. So now time to heat. So as soon as I turn on the heat, I just add the potatoes so they just can start frying a little bit. And then it's important to mix all the potatoes with the oil. And it is at this point when I add some salt, a little bit, and I mix through all the potatoes. And I remove again, I mix again all the potatoes. So the potatoes don't really need to stay too much time on the pan, it's just all the time that it takes mixing with the oil and add salt and a little bit, so about 2-3 minutes. And one is done this time because they are already practically cooked on the microwave. We can add the eggs to them. So we have here the potatoes already distributed through the pan, because I like they are like equally in all the pan for the purpose of the omelette, and they are completely cooked now. And this is my beaten eggs, so just I'm going to pour the eggs over the potatoes. The same with the potatoes. Now I want to, like, all the potatoes are below the egg, so I just gonna adjust a little bit the potatoes on the pan with the egg. But this looks good. It was good option to choose 6 eggs because it's, I mean, it's not like too much potato or too much egg, which is bad, both things. It is said that it has to be a lot of potato, it's like the recommendation, but if you put too much potato, the problem is that it breaks, so it's one of the trickiest part of this dish. And then quickly I turn the heat to the low range, like this is now potatoes with the egg, and here you see let's see if you can see here, low heat in the 2. This is very important, that's why I show you, because one of the main mistakes that is done with this dish, and it happened to me many times at the beginning, is that I had the heat quite high, like around medium, so the omelette was doing quite quickly, but the thing is that it was really cooked on the bottom or on the other side when I turned over, but in the middle it was not really very well cooked, and if I wanted to cook it very well in the middle, it was burned in the bottom, right? So it can happen with all kind of dishes or omelettes. It's a very basic thing, but what happened to me with the omelette, because normally if you choose the amount I choose of potatoes and eggs, it's a little bit thick, so it's risky that this happen. And then once I changed to this strategy of putting low temperature, low heat, it takes more time, but it's much better cooked. So it will stay like this probably not less than half an hour. So I will tell you the time later because it depends every time, but yes, it takes time. So if you want to prepare for lunch or for dinner, you have to take this into account that it takes some time. You cannot do in 20 minutes. So, but then while it's cooking, you can just do other things. So just take a look and be careful that to the thing of when the omelette is starting to be doing on the top, which means probably it's time to flip back. So yes, now it's time to wait, and I will come later to show how the omelette has been cooked thoroughly and how it's on the top. So it's been around 15 minutes, a little bit more, since I mixed the potato with the eggs, and I wanted to show you how it's been cooking. So as you can see, it's been done through the borders and it's getting a little bit more done towards the middle, but still is not completely done as I like to flip. So I will wait a little bit more. Okay, so it's been almost half an hour and today my omelette is not as thick as other days. Sometimes it's thicker and other times it's not so thicker. And also I'm noticing that the borders are getting quite dark, so I don't want that the omelette burns down. And when I move the pan, I see that it's moving some oil of the omelette, but the egg on the top that is not already cooked is staying in the place. So I decide to flip the omelette now and cook that side. So for that I recommend to go to the sink, because sometimes it falls egg if it's not very done on the top, and also oil, especially if you have add too much oil. So it's better to do it there. So there are several ways to flip an omelette, especially when it's big and it's thick. So I used to put this on the top carefully, so I don't burn my fingers, and just I flip. Or you can just try to remove carefully the omelette from the pan with some kind of a spoon like this. So just through the borders you can just kind of detach from the pan, and carefully you can just do like this to pass to the plate, and then with another plate put on the top and flip, so it stays in the bottom plate, and then you pass again to the pan. But if possible, I like the first option because it's much faster. And let's do it. So don't smooth. Okay, so it's flipped. So I will show you now. So for now, the omelette is like in the limits. I mean, it's not burned. It looks some dark spot, but it's not burned. But it could be a little bit less cooked, because normally I like when it's a little bit less dark. So I will try to not cook as much the bottom part now. And yes, as I said, I was noticing the borders were getting dark, so I'm glad I decided to flip the omelette soon rather than later. So now, as I say, I just can pass the omelette to the pan like this, slipping, and this is here again. I keep the heat in low, so I can cook the bottom part slowly. And for the dark spots I don't like too much, I probably will, once I'm going to eat, I will remove a little bit with the fork, because also they say it's not so very healthy, right? So it's better not to eat things that are very burned. So yes, I will show you later how is the other side. I hope it's a little bit less dark, and I will pay attention to flip very soon, because it's pretty done also on the top, so it doesn't need too much time. After almost 5 minutes, I think it should be done, so I'm going to to flip again the omelette. Okay, and here we have, so I like much more this side, so ideally it would be good if the other side is cooked as this one, but as I said, I can remove a little bit the dark spots in the other side and it should be fine. And yes, it's all, this is all. So once you are ready to eat, you can taste and you can add more salt if you wish. And if you are not going to eat immediately, you just cover with some foil and it can stay room temperature for a while. And yes, you can have this for dinner, for lunch, even for like some sort of snacks. Something very important is to not forget the bread, because it's very typical in Spain to eat the omelette with bread. So I have here bread for the snack. So it's very typical there just to put bread, omelette, and then more bread, and you have like a sandwich, or we call it bocata. And also, of course, for the tapas, which is very common in Spain. So you go to a place, to a restaurant, and you just order a tapa of tortilla de patatas, Spanish omelette, and they serve you a little bit of piece of bread, and on the top like a triangle of Spanish omelette, and it's really good. And there is an option you can also choose to cook this dish, which is add onion. Some people like even more the omelette with potato and onion, and it will be very similar because you just have to cook better in the microwave if possible the onion a little bit, and just finish it in the pan and mix with the potato and follow the same procedure. So it's basically the same, and the omelette feels like more, the texture especially is different, and also the flavor like more soft because it has like the onion. But personally, for me, I like most the Spanish omelette only with potato, and that's why I choose this option for today. So that's all, and thank you for watching. I hope you try this dish and enjoy. And here is finally our omelette ready to serve and eat. Thank you. Bye bye.